This podcast episode is going to be all about the BLs that I have been watching lately. BLs are what I'm watching the most right now. I haven't been really into a lot of just strictly, K-dramas. C-dramas is touch and go, but I've been watching a lot of BLs. I want to talk about the current ones that are airing, some that have completed, some of my most anticipated for the remainder of the year. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Art podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. The so much more includes BLs, which I have been watching an abundance of as of late, and I decided to do just like a recap episode of just some of my favorite ones, some that have surprised me, some that are really incredible, and some of my most anticipated. I gotta talk about Revenge Love first and foremost. This is like the BL that has taken like social media by storm. It is huge. I am one of the very passionate fans about Revenge Love. I think it's like the biggest surprise for me of the year. From the first principal photography that I saw of the show, I had a feeling I was gonna like it, but I didn't realize just how much I was gonna be invested in it. For one, the lead characters are really charming and they just have so much charisma. Chi Chang is probably the biggest red flag, and that character on paper I should dislike heavily, but I think Tien does a fantastic job with him. Everything from his gaze, like this actor, he is so intense in his eye contact, just the way he stares down characters, right down to the kissing scenes, to the NC scenes. Like, he's just like fully present and there, and I feel like he made this character have so much life, like a character that as detestable as Chi Chang is, at least in the earlier eps, and he does still some shady shit even in the later eps as well, but I think his entire emotional arc and journey, especially with his relationship with Woo Soo-wei, I think he just really is an interesting character study, and I enjoyed the hell out of him in the show. I think the recent episodes that have aired, because right now we are just getting the final episodes, like the production team has pushed out the final eps, and the last airing will be this coming Tuesday, and we're on episode, I believe, 22, 23. So they're really rushing it out, which I'm glad. I was so nervous about this show getting completely yanked off air, even though I know that the production team and the author of Counterattack, they went out of their way to ensure that this production wasn't being produced in mainland China to avoid censorship and the ban. But yet there's been so much controversy surrounding this show because of its popularity, and I genuinely feel bad for the actors. So that's like one of the downsides of everything, is that the actors have been so personally affected by the success, which just makes it really unfortunate. I really wish it wasn't that way, but some of the best acting work I've seen in the show has been like Ep 20 and Ep 21. Like, I have to highlight the entire emotional arc of Usue's mom and what happens with her. It broke my heart so much. It's been a very long time since I've cried heavily at a show, but I think Ziyu's acting was just really phenomenal as Usue, and him dealing with the grief of an aging parent, and an aging parent that is very ill, that has a disabling disease and something that is fatal. And his entire acting, I felt so awful. Like, I cried. It's one of the best episodes, but I probably wouldn't watch the episode again, because it just hits too close to home, especially as someone that works in healthcare. It was too much. But I had to just mention that, like, the entire arc, it just makes me so happy that the show exists and that we're getting all 24 episodes. I love everything about the show. I love the friendships. I love the problematicness of the show, which is crazy, but I think it just works as its own entity. I can't describe it. Even the friendships, but Chi Chang and Cheng Yu, their frenemy type relationship, and like all the layers to it. Even the introduction of probably one of the most hated characters in the show, Wang Shu, I think the actor did a phenomenal job with playing a character that isn't really well liked, and unfortunately I think that actor is getting harassed just because his portrayal is so good. Which is crazy. And I find it really funny that he's popped up in a C drama that I'm currently watching right now the legend of the female general. I'm currently watching that, and he's like completely different stature wise in the show, but he still has that smirky smirk kind of face to him. I just thought he was really good at what he did. Overall, the show is just really enjoyable. I love all four main leads. I'll be sad to see it go, but it's been a fun ride for me personally. Reset is another BL that I really, really enjoyed. It kind of is a surprise, but not really. I came into the show because I like Pond, and I think he not only is a beautiful actor physically, but I think he's also a really great actor. And I know a lot of people had criticisms for this show, especially early on, but I was fully sold. Once I knew going in that it was a Licorn, I was fully sold. Like, it fully leans into its over the top, unserious nature. It is so cheesy at times. There's so much scene chewing acting. A lot of the actors, they're fully in the soap opera, like just a lot of theatrics. So it's not for everybody, but I had a time with that show. I think it's like one of my fave BLs because the romance is like top tier. You can say whatever about the acting, the storyline, what have you. I think the show was thoroughly entertaining. The pacing was good. I genuinely enjoyed Tara and Armin's romance. I think Peter Pan and Pond have fantastic chemistry, and I know Pond isn't someone that likes to stay in fixed ships, which I think is a strength as a BL actor. You get pigeonholed really quickly, especially in the Thai market. I think it's remarkable that he's been able to have like a huge thriving fan base and still be able to kind of go in and out of projects. But I hope if there was one time that he could rematch with someone again for even one more project, I hope it's Peter Pan, because I think their chemistry is just phenomenal. They were top tier romance. The NC scenes were all tasteful, nothing was tacky. The romance was top tier. Just the little mannerisms between the two of them just to express love. The forehead kisses, the hand kisses, the lighting. I'm sorry, okay? That's just what it is. Secret Lover is another one that I started, and this is a Taiwanese production. Han-Tu is definitely a manipulative character. He's not a typical male lead that I would like. I understand that this character background is definitely more of an introvert, has a hard time expressing his emotions, which is why some of his actions in some of their episodes come off really sketchy. But I can't lie. I mean, the chemistry between him and Lu Jin Yi, is that his name? Lu Jun Shi, the main lead character. Anyways, the two of them, they have great chemistry. The story, the pacing seems really quick. I haven't read like the source material. I think it's based off a manga, and a lot of people said that the show deviates from it like a lot. I'm familiar with the source material, so I wouldn't know. But I think the chemistry is what's keeping me there. Like, they have very good, at least the actors have very good on-screen physical chemistry, and I'm just playing by ear with that show. But it is something. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but the chemistry is there. Another one that I've checked out is 10 Things I Want to Do Before I Turn 40, which is a Japanese BL. I initially went into this with a lot of high hopes. I still like it, but I do find it really slow. I'm not someone that's against slow burn. If you know anything about me and me watching romance content from all genres in general, I love a good slow burn when it's done well. I just get this creeping sense with this show that it's going to turn into a situation like I hear Sunspot, if you know what I mean, kind of a thing where the characters don't have to kiss. They don't have to kiss passionately for multiple episodes. I'm okay with even one kiss for the entirety of the show, but I just get this sense, and I don't know if I'm off about it, that it potentially could turn out not in the way that I'd want. I just have this feeling with this show that it's going to be like one really weird stage kiss that's like offside. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, but that's what I'm getting from it. I think the show is still cute. It's definitely not up there with Old Fashioned Cupcake. Old Fashioned Cupcake is still like my top old man yaoi type or yoi type BL. Like, I love Old Fashioned Cupcake so much. My Magic Prophecy. I just did a reel about this earlier in the week. This is like the biggest surprise as far as BLs for me. I love Jimmy and C. I will go on record saying that I think they're phenomenal acting pair as much as I dislike, and I've said this multiple times, the last 3 episodes of Last Twilight. I think their acting work in that show in general was something to behold, and I still hold a lot of good memories about Last Twilight because of those first 9 episodes. Jimmy and C, they're phenomenal actors. I will never be worried about them bringing it acting wise. Two of them so much, and I believe in their acting talent so much. I decided to check it out, and the Magic Prophecy surprised me. You can go ahead and check out my short about it. It surprised me how good it was. It's a lot more emotional than you think. And the first 2 episodes really blew my mind, especially episode 2. I think definitely Jimmy really brought it, and so did C in the last like 5 minutes of episode 2, which made me so much more intrigued. And someone actually left a comment on my short about a Magic Prophecy that the writers behind The Sign actually are involved in the show. And if that is true, then I'm even more locked in because I enjoyed The Sign. I enjoyed the hell out of The Sign. So to me, that bodes well. As far as highly anticipated shows that are coming out, I'm going to name check 3. First is Shine, which actually has started airing at the time of me recording this. I love Miles. I love Appo. I think Appo is probably one of the most beautiful looking men I've ever seen in my life. And I think the way that they're marketing this show sounds really interesting. And the political aspect of the show, in addition to them kind of straying away from the title of BL and more focusing it on it being like an LGBTQ plus centered show, or at the very least a more adult love and not falling into the typical tropes of the BL genre. I think it's interesting. I still have to check it out though, but definitely gonna check that out. Khemjira is another one that I'm really, really excited for, but if I'm being really honest, my expectations have been dampened just a teensy bit. Show I was so hyped for, and then the recent trailer to announce that it's coming out, I was a little less excited at the show, but we'll wait and see. But definitely the most anticipated show for me personally, is The Wicked Games. This is like the top tier of BL that I've been waiting for. I am part of the Dow Off-Road Hive. I just watched the recent trailer for this. It looks beautiful. It looks like coins were spent. They both look phenomenal. I love the cat and mouse in all the principal photography for this. In the trailer, there was a slap kiss that honestly set me in orbit. I transcended to multiple dimensions. You have no idea how excited I am for this. I'm almost too excited, where I'm also kind of scared that my expectations might be too high for it. But I do believe in Down Off-Road's chemistry. I know one thing is for damn certain, that chemistry will not quit. My huge mumbled spiel about all the BLs I've been watching, let me know, what are you watching? Are you picking up any new BLs? Have you been pleasantly surprised by what's come out? Just let me know your thoughts in the description below if you're watching the YouTube version of this podcast. If you're watching it from other platforms like Spotify, for example, feel free to leave your commentary there. And even on Apple Podcasts as well. And even if you're not watching BLs, just any K-dramas, C-dramas in general that you're watching. As I said, I'm into the female, the legend of the female general right now. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Till next episode.